Hello everybody, welcome to Nelly's Kitchen. Today we are going to make simple clam chowder. So let's go over our ingredients. So here we have a bowl of vegetables, about 4 stalks of chopped celery, medium to large chopped onions, and about 1.5 pounds of cubed potatoes. I use yellow potatoes this time. You can use red or russet potatoes, whichever you want. And here we have about 8 strips of bacon, chopped as well. And then we have pepper, salt, red wine vinegar, a whole can of chopped clams. And you can find this at Costco, and this whole can is about 3 pounds. A stick of butter, flour, we're going to need about 3/4 of a cup, and then whole milk and half and half. So I'm going to use 1 cup of half and half and 3 cups of whole milk in this recipe. So let's get this started. So here's the skillet I use to cook the bacon. I'm using some of the bacon grease to cook the veggies. So what we're going to do is cook the celery and onions until it's a little bit clear, and then add the potatoes. You can see here the onions and celery are cooking. Been cooking for about a minute or so on medium-high heat, and then what we're going to do is add the rest of the potatoes in there. We'll stir a little bit for about 3 minutes or so. And then we're going to add the clam juice in it as well from that can. Okay, so it's been cooking about 3 minutes, and now we're going to drain this clam juice into this skillet here. Try my best not to spill. Make sure you keep the clam meat for later. The clam meat will be used later near the end. We don't want to overcook the clam meat because it gets really tough, and we want it to be nice and tender. So as you can see here now, we're going to let this cook for a little bit, for about 10 minutes, actually for about 15 minutes on medium-high heat until the vegetables are a bit tender. So in the meantime, we're going to use this pot here, this quart pot, to make the creaminess of the clam chowder. So first we're going to put a stick of butter in there, and we're going to try to melt it. We're going to melt it all the way, and then after it's melted all the way, we're going to add the flour. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. Okay, here we have the butter all melted through, and what we're going to need here is a whisk, and since it is all melted, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of flour. Add that to that, and then we're going to use the whisk and mix it really well until it becomes really creamy texture. Okay, so as you can see, it's really well mixed, and we're going to mix this for a couple seconds here, a few more seconds, and then we're ready to add the milk. And as you can see here, this vegetables has been boiling here for about 10 to 15 minutes, and I just turned the heat down to let it simmer for a little bit. So let's go back here. Okay, so this seems to be ready. So now we're going to add 1 cup of half and half, and 3 cups of whole milk. Alright, so here's the milk, and we're gonna add this in the pot. Okay, and what we're gonna do is turn the heat high, or medium high, high or medium high, and stir this until this becomes really nice and thick. So it's going to take a little while, so the texture is going to turn as soon as this content starts boiling. But in the meantime, you want to stir it with a whisk, every once in a while. Okay, we'll fast forward a little bit. So as you can see, the mixture is heating up real well, and it's starting to get real thick. So you may want to continue to let it heat up for a couple more minutes, and make sure you use the whisk to mix the flour and the butter and the milk mixed well through. And as soon as it becomes thick enough, we're going to go ahead and add that vegetable and broth into this mix. Okay. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. As you can see here, the mixture has become really thick, and now we're ready to add the vegetable and the clam juice into this pot here, and we're going to add it carefully. I only have one hand, so it's kind of hard to pour it all, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit, and you'll see the results where the vegetables are going to be in this mixture. And also, you may want to turn the heat down to medium or medium-low. Okay, so I added the vegetable soup or broth into the mix, as you can see, and now we want to mix it really well with the cream. So we're going to let it heat it through for a little bit, and once that's done, and once this mixture becomes thicker, we're ready to add the clams and the bacon. Alright, so we're going to mix this and let it heat through for about 5 minutes. Okay, so the soup has become really thick, as you can see, and it's looks really nice and rich. So the next thing we're going to do is add the bacon right there, and we're going to add the clam chowder meat. So as you can see, there's plenty of meat in there, and we're going to mix this in and heat it thoroughly. The soup doesn't have to be boiling. Like I said, the clam chowder is already cooked. We don't want it to cook it too long in high heat, because it will make it really chewy, and we don't want that. We want it nice and tender and tasting good in the soup. So now we're going to add salt and pepper. So let's get the salt right here, and we're going to add about 2 teaspoons. Well, first I would try to add 1 teaspoon, then mix it in, and then try it. If it tastes good, then all you need is 1 teaspoon. But if you need more, then add the next teaspoon after you had your first taste and you think there's not enough salt in it. So add the salt here, and now we're going to add black pepper in it. Okay, and we're going to add about 1 teaspoon of pepper. Okay, now we're going to mix it real well here. And last but not least, we're going to add the red wine and vinegar. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of this. So 2 tablespoons. Okay. And then I'm going to mix this well and then turn the heat off. Okay, there you go. Really simple, easy, yummy, creamy clam chowder by Nelly Bushing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video recipe, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.